When you chase money, you lose. Always and forever, even when you achieve the money. Everybody gets hyped when I hype them like this, then they do it for 4 days, a week, a month, nothing happens, they're like, F that. People are like, Gary, I DM'd all the influencers like you told me, nobody responded. I'm like, how many? They're like, 130. I'm like, good, there's about 9 million more.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like nah, nah, nah. For my top 10, top 10, nah, nah, nah. This one's for my top 10.
He's Gary Vaynerchuk, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 16. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Do what you love.
Maybe you actually love playing video games more than starting an app company. When I was growing up, playing video games was a waste of time. Today, I think we can all agree, a professional esports superstar for the next 50 years, probably behind proper football and basketball, is going to be the biggest athlete in our world. This is nothing you could see 7 or 10 years ago. You owe it to yourself to make sure that you're building a company around what you love, not because cryptocurrency is the current fad. When you chase money, you lose. Always and forever, even when you achieve the money. This is how humans are wired.
Rule number 2, over-deliver.
My great legacy in my aspiration to be someone that gets written about like Robin Hood is giving it for free. Yeah, like the thing that if somebody asks me, what are you most proud of? I'm literally giving away all my best shit for free. I don't know what else to say. A lot of people that kind of look like me build audience to the masses, but then try to sell to that audience.
Correct.
Right? Here's the $4,000 ebook. Right. Here's the come to my mastermind. Yeah. What I do is, back to your analogy, this is why I thought of it too, I do business with Chase and Budweiser and AAA list celebrities, but for the masses, it's free. I'm obsessed with over-delivering. It's why I say yes to shit like this in the first place. The fact that I get one of the emails I get a day, and I get a lot of them, that says I was suicidal, like real shit that's heavy. That trumps anything I will ever do professionally. One person telling you that they were going to take their life and that your videos and podcasts made them not, is disproportionately greater than if I bought all 32 NFL teams, and I mean that.
Rule number 3, be patient.
Everybody gets hyped when I hype them like this, then they do it for 4 days, a week, a month, nothing happens, they're like, F that. Did you look carefully at the 2009 and 2010 tweets, how much engagement they had?
Versus now?
Yeah. Did you or not?
No.
You know that some of those tweets only had 2 likes and a share?
I did know, yes. Yeah.
People forget what my 2009 and 10 looked like. Everybody starts with only 1 like. Here's the tactical part. You put a ton of content, eventually something kind of goes viral and you spend a load of money against it because people prove that they gave a
Rule number 4, be practical.
Please understand my biggest truth here today, which is if you are not sharing your thoughts, your process, your journey, your progress to achieving your goals, the stories you want to tell about your startup, product, service, if you are not communicating to the world, and if you're not thinking about what's valuable to them, not what's valuable to you when you communicate, and that is a very big point, I'll say it one more time. If you are not communicating to the world, and when you're communicating, if you're not thinking about what's valuable to them versus what you're putting out for yourself, you are basically irrelevant in a 2019 world. As much as it may be difficult for many in this room, if you are not living through here, you are not known. This is the game. If you are underestimating this, and when I say underestimating this, if you have not made a significant commitment to producing content for the one of 7 apps or websites that 80% of this entire region spends a disproportionate amount of time penetrating and listening and consuming, you are becoming vastly, vastly irrelevant.
Also, if you want to learn how to be confident like Gary and other entrepreneurs, check out my 254 series. The link is in the description below, and it's free.
The reason people aren't patient is they value other people's opinions too much.
Rule number 5, take shots.
People are like, Gary, I DM'd all the influencers like you told me, nobody responded. I'm like, how many? They're like, 130. I'm like, good, there's about 9 million more.
Right. And you just say, will you help me?
No, because that's not the way to position it, right? Because most people won't answer that, because somebody who's got an audience, that's all they see.
Right.
I would say, how can I help you?
Right. That was my question.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I with you. Like, how can I help you?
But then, like, if you don't have any leverage, like...
Yes, you do. You have your time. You never know. D-Rock didn't have any leverage. D-Rock asked me 4 times, and then finally I said, yeah, fine, make me a video. I'm not even in that mindset, and then this all happened because of it. That's real.
Wow.
That's real. That's the story.
Damn.
That's the story. He asked me 4 times, I want to make a video for you. He was a video guy. I wasn't making content like that then. But it was in my mind. And by the 4th time, I was like, you know what, F it, okay? Make me a free video, show me. Here we are. Now he's the word that people use, like people literally say, literally a verb. Literally, people are like, my D-Rock's name is Rick. I'm like, you know D-Rock's a name. You know what I mean? It's real. And you know what? I said this at the time to D-Rock, I said, you're gonna impact people, like, do you know how awesome it is for people that love to do it? You know how many people wanted to make documentaries their whole lives, yet only 74 people a year get to do them, and now 74,000 people a year get to do it?
Yep.
All it takes is one person.
Rule number 6, know yourself.
I just don't care about the money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine making $47,000 a year and reading all the comments on Instagram and LinkedIn that I was a loser and lost it all. Interested.
So what do you want to be remembered for at the end?
That I gave a hell of a lot more than I took.
Okay.
I want to be the greatest entrepreneur of all time, because entrepreneurship is what I do, and I think the way to do that is to A, build big businesses and exits and companies and put the points on the board.
Right.
But who I am.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, like I want to inspire the most entrepreneurs to be happy, not just successful.
Okay.
Like, there's so many people who are going to be unhappy making $1 million a year that would have been thrilled making 630.
Rule number 7, hustle.
The reason we're sitting here today is I decided from 2007 to 2011 to spend 4 to 8 hours a day replying to people on Twitter that weren't even talking to me. You could type in the name of that town, and then go in Instagram, and then go to places, click it, and see every photo that's been posted in your town, in that town.
Okay.
You can then go look at the photo. Could be her at a Goodwill saying, huge score. You could reply and say, good 7 to 150 on a stapler. Go, girl.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, she's just a normal human. She only gets 6 comments to begin with. She's like, who's this man? She clicks. She goes, your bio is I sell homes. She's like, cool, nice guy, I hope he's not weird. And she's out.
Right.
But the 97th person that does that goes, he seems nice, goes in the funnel, you put out a good piece of content, like, I'm gonna DM him, I'm thinking about selling my home. What people don't understand is how much work I put to even begin the process of being who I am today.
Okay.
2007, 2011 is a long time ago for a lot of people. That year, I decided to go on Twitter search, and anybody that talked about wine, I jumped in and talked to them. How did I get here? Hand-to-hand combat.
Rule number 8, love the process.
To build a meaningful company takes a very long time, is very difficult, and more importantly, what has happened in the startup community, all those wonderful startups back there, everybody now is pandering to venture capital or to raising capital, not to actually building a business. Every day. Thank you. It's important. And thank you so much for jumping on that. It's important because let me tell you why in 2006, 7, 8, 9, I was taking all of my money and investing in Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter and Uber and all these things that I did very well with, and why over the last 4 years I've invested very little, very carefully, because there's a disconnect right now and there's illusions of the reality. If you stand here or sit here today and there is nothing that you could think about other than building a business, because the process of building a business is your happiness, not what a successful business allows you to buy, well, then you're a purebred entrepreneur.
Rule number 9, have humility and perspective.
If you can have perspective, proper macro perspective, and you can have micro, practitionership, you will be happy and win.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
Having the humility and the audacity, back to your contradiction.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, that's how I got to clouds and dirt,
Yeah, which is
because I've always been fascinated by that about me, which is the things I'm willing to do right now that are below my pay grade. Right. This podcast, this is super scrutinized by the people around me.
Right.
They're like, why are you doing this? We don't have 15 minutes for very important shit.
Right.
You're letting money, opportunity, VIPs. Why are you doing this? I don't know. Like, intuitively when we were talking, I thought it was a good idea, and I think, in my massive perspective, giving back. Look, you're going to leverage me being on this show.
Absolutely, for sure.
And that makes me feel good. That's me giving back.
Right.
This is a bigger thing, giving you these 15 minutes, than me giving you $15,000 for your app.
For sure.
For me,
yeah.
It's easier to write the
And
check.
for me.
So for me, humility and like perspective, like I don't know how many very busy people are running around knowing that they need to put change into the bucket of giving back in their time, not their money.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is stop caring what people think.
There is nothing more difficult than navigating your life based on somebody else's opinion. You actually care about what your dad or mom or grandma or husband or wife or daughter or son is gonna say about you if you do this thing. It doesn't matter what they think. When you're 92 and you're sitting there, you're not gonna give a shit about what Punk Man 96 had to say, or even what your aunt had to say, who's miserable because she never got hers, so she's trying to keep you down. Negative people latch on to positive people and try to seclude them from the world because that's their energy. In work, I see it every day. In life, I see it every day. It's just what it is. I hate how many people judge other people without having all the context. Every time you judge, you make yourself vulnerable. 99.9% of people that you judge or have opinions on, you have no idea what the is actually happening in their lives. Like, you don't know what's going on in somebody's home. Everybody sucks at something, right? Like, we all have shortcomings. And for me, it's like, why don't we just audit that? Like, why don't we just look at it that way and be like, all right, well, I'm good at this, but I'm not good at that. Like, everybody's so absolute. Are you really, really, really not gonna live your life based on somebody's anonymous icon feedback that you suck? They suck. Go do your thing. Don't listen to anybody but what's in your mind and your heart, and not living a life where you allow other people's judgment to dictate your behavior.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Gary on how to say yes that I really think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's move from just watching a video to taking action in your life or business. Here we go. Question number 1. Whose opinion do you need to stop caring about? Number 2, what's the shot that you just need to take? And number 3, who can you over-deliver for today?
So with real estate, following this gentleman, pretty much personal branding.
Yes.
What my introduction is going to be.
Okay.
Question is, since we're so small, how soon does that get played out? People are like, don't want to listen to him anymore.
Well, if you talk, my big thing is just talk about your singular truth and your uniqueness. People may follow you just for your ranching tips, or because your tire on your truck you need to change and you videoed it. I mean, people are like, I'm not interesting, and I'm like, people are interesting. If you weren't interesting, we wouldn't have traffic. Rubbernecking is completely based on, you know what a yenta is? It's not necessarily a good, it's more of a Israeli word necessarily, but like, people are interested in other people. So you don't have a whole lot to say about like expertise, like somebody who's been in the business for 27 years, that's her advantage, right? But for now, your advantage is the documentation of trying to make it your side hustle. Like, if you live streamed your entire, somebody in here is gonna live stream an entire open house where nobody shows up, right? And right? And then one of those at the right time is gonna go viral as somebody who's persevering through adversity. Chewbacca mom happens a lot. You just have to put yourself in a position. Somebody decided to post a photo of an egg. You understand? You understand? Like, everybody's saying no. You are all saying no for the audience. I never say no. If I would have said no for you, I wouldn't have made a cartoon photo post and realized you guys want cartoon photo posts for me too. Those comic posts I started posting in January are outperforming my standard content. So what do? You just post all sorts of shit. Shave your beard, good content. I mean it. Like, and you live in a part of the world that New Yorkers don't get, like you just never know. But everybody says no, and I always say yes. That is literally the binary difference. And I'm willing to deal with when it's a no, because I don't care about the judgment.
If you want to see the interview that Gary and I did together, check the link out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
He's eating something at the moment. What are you eating, Gary?
English peas. I love them so much.
With the skin? Or no?
No.